Alrighty, here is the video review for Universal Studios Deluxe exclusive Transformer Evac. Thanks to my buddy Scott, Silvershot, for picking this up for me. I really do appreciate it. He's an awesome little dude. And he's Evac. He's Universal exclusive because he's designed basically after he's supposed to be the Transformer you're riding in during the ride, and he's designed kind of after the actual ride car you're in. They look a little different because it's basically like just a painted up version of the Spider-Man cart if you've ever been to the Spider-Man ride. And really it looks like when it came out in Singapore, I watched a video of the ride, and it looks like it's pretty much just the Spider-Man ride. It's the same track and everything, just with Transformers in it instead of Spider-Man. So if you're in the Spider-Man ride, just picture a bunch of robots and you pretty much got the same thing. But here's the car, and like, again, he's got 4 seats under a clear screen here. I think the actual ride carts actually hold like 3 rows of 4 people, so 12 people. But or maybe it's 4 rows of 3 or 3 rows of 3. I don't know. They hold more than 4 people. But yeah, but he's just supposed to be. He's got the little thrusters in the back. He's supposed to be your getaway vehicle, your special transport through the world of Transformers to keep you safe. And he shakes. Oh no, we're flying! Oh, anyway. Here he is next to his Cyberverse counterpart. Little teeny blue car. And here he is next to a Bashot. There's Lockdown. Alright. And just so you know, here's a Lockdown next to a Cyberverse figure, just to get an idea of how big his Cyberverse version is next to a Botshot. Alright, anyway. On to the transformation. Okay, you want to come down here. You want to pull the arms down like this. And then these panels right here, you kind of want to pull down, just like that. And then the legs come unpeg. They're pegged in back here. You just unpeg the legs and bring them out. And then bring this whole piece, or these wheels, you want to lift up the wheels here like this. And then bring the whole torso piece down like this. These little guns flip forward on his waist, just like that. The wheels, and then you actually pull these pieces back, which allows the wheels to come down and form there on the hips. And then you can kind of see how the body's coming together here. You come back here, you lift up this whole, lift up the 2 sides and lift up this whole piece right here. Unpeg that. The head right here, the jet thruster at the back of the car actually rotates around, and the head comes out. And then you bring the shoulders out like this, and the head all the way down. And the shoulders rotate just below, right at the bicep, I guess, just below the shoulder joint. To bring these out, you rotate the mud guard, the mud flaps, flip up and around onto his shoulders, just like that. And then you want to rotate this whole piece, and then bring this up. You see there's a little tab here, it's going to peg in right here, and that causes this little piece to flap up a little bit. And you actually want to have his head down. There's a tab there on the front of his head that does plug in here to the chest. There we go. Locks that whole thing together. There you go. And his head's on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion out of his head there. He's got ball joint shoulders, hinge elbows here. And he's got ball joint legs, hinge knees, and then his feet aren't on a ball joint. And these, if you push too far, they will pop off, but they do rotate a little bit, so you can have him in more of a wide leg stance and still have his foot open. They're not ball joints, so they don't rotate forward or back, unfortunately, but they do rotate a little bit to the side. And then you actually want to come back here, lift this whole thing up. And okay, no, you don't. You want to just plug that in right there behind his back. These you can leave flipped back, and I think that helps from the front silhouette a little bit. They're not quite as obvious, but they do stick out pretty far on the back. You can leave them, you can fold them in against the body, but that does kind of fill in his silhouette a little bit and makes it look more like he's got a giant, just kind of back panel there. So it's really up to you, your display preference. If you don't like him having the giant wings sticking straight out the back, you can fold them in, but just keep in mind that it does kind of fatten his silhouette a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's really up to you. Stand him up, get the whole figure in the shot here. But he's really kind of cool. He's a very unique design, and like he's supposed to have a kind of movie-esque design, and he's got that, but he doesn't look quite as hardcore movie design character. Maybe that's because he's got like a realistic looking face. I don't know. But he's really, really cool. I love the big wheels on his shoulders. And I love that he doesn't come with any individual weapons, but you can see he's got the guns here on his waist. And he does have the forearm guns built in. And his hands are molded in such a way they can hold the standard 5mm peg. So he can hold any of the standard weapons, mini-cons, microns, target masters, that have that standard peg. He can hold them. So he's not at a lack for weapons. And I've seen somebody found a way, because this little piece right here can pop out. It's just on a little joint in there. This won't break your figure doing this, so, you know, there's that. Somebody had him holding this as a weapon. And you can kind of do that. It doesn't fit very tightly. It's not a full 5mm peg. But if you have to have him have a weapon, you can do that. I think that looks a little silly, but just letting you know you can do it if you want. And then to put it back, you just pop it right back in. So, yeah. But like I said, he will hold any other weapon from any standard weapon from the last few years that has that 5mm peg on it. So yeah, he's pretty cool. Go ahead and transform his Cyberverse version just to show him next to him. Just real quick here. Da-da-da-da. Come on, Cyberverse Evac. Let's get ready to fight and save the people on the ride, because we don't want them to die. At least not all of them. Da-da-da. Okay, there we go. And there he is, next to a Cyberverse version. Now, the Cyberverse version, I think, has a little bit more of the blocky standard TF or Transformer proportions, whereas, obviously, he's got the movie type of look. But they're both pretty cool. He's a darker blue, obviously. And again, just for the record, there he is next to a standard bot-shot-sized figure. Just to give you an idea. And you can see why they were similar in car size. Cyberverse Bulkhead's much bigger. Evac is much bigger than a bot-shot. But yeah, I don't know if Universal's restocked. The last I'd heard, they had sold out of Evac. And we're supposed to be restocking. I don't know if that's happened yet. I haven't seen an update on that. And this was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So it's entirely possible there are more in stock. If you don't go to the ride, the only place to get it is to have somebody pick one up for you. And like I said, my buddy Silvershot nabbed this for me. So yeah, very cool. But there he is, Universal Studios exclusive Evac.